Hello fellow hunter, it's me, Aki, the guy who spent too much time playing Monster Hunter Rise. After talking about how much I love the game and the hunters that annoy me the most, today let's turn our attention to the true protagonists of the game, which are the monsters. As of the release of this video, we have a total of 46 large monsters, including apexes. A moderate roster for base game in my opinion. I know many hunters wish the numbers would be more than that though, including me, but I'm not disappointed or upset if that's the final number. Anyway, having hunted thousands of monsters in Rise, I do have a few monsters that I really like, be it their design or mechanics. So without further ado, let's dive into the list of the 5 monsters I love the most in Monster Hunter Rise, shall we? Magnamalo, the flagship cover monster of Rise. A fang wyvern that looks like a tiger clad in a blue and yellow plate of armor. It has 2 giant tusks under its cheek and a pair of yellow jagged horns on its head, which looks like a samurai helmet from the Sengoku era. Armed with a blade on each of his forelegs, a spear-like tail, and a back covered with spikes, Magnamalo is a living weapon of destruction who nearly destroyed Kamura village 50 years ago. While enraged, Magnamalo is covered in mysterious purple flame known as Hellfire. It meant to resemble Onibi or Will o' the Wisps. If inflicted over a period of time, it will explode, causing blast damage. Cunning, malicious, and relentless, Magnamalo is extremely hostile towards other monsters and hunters alike. It will not hesitate to barrage you with a wave of attacks if given the chance. Despite not having wings to fly, Magnamalo has an incredible physique that enables it to pounce high in the sky, challenging the lights of Rathalos. When the hellfire around him turns reddish purple, it will have access to its strongest attack, the dive bomb explosion that will instantly kill a hunter. To be honest, I was quite surprised at first to find out that Magnamalo is not an Elder Dragon. It has all the components fit to be one. Strong, evasive, being on the cover of a game, and having its own soundtrack too. Speaking about theme song, without a doubt, my favorite track in the game. I did mention in my previous video on how well fitted the song is to Magnamalo. The tension, the thrill of the music, combined with the adrenaline-filled battle, made fighting Magnamalo an extremely memorable and exciting hunting experience. Thunder Serpent Narwa, an elder dragon which has the power to manipulate electromagnetic forces. It has a long leviathan-like body similar to Amatsu and double jaws which are able to split. Narwa has multiple sacs primarily on its forehead, arms, tails, back and torso that produces electromagnetic force to levitate upside down in the air. Wait, isn't it like extremely dangerous? Won't its blood rushes to its head? I guess it can reverse its blood flow through levitation too. Okay, so what's the deal with Narwa? She is basically on hit and wanted to have some sexy time with her king, the Wind Serpent Ibushi. However, due to her presence and electromagnetic abilities, it drives other monsters into a frenzy, steering them to the rampage on Kamura village, hence setting the story for Rise. The battle at Coral Palace against Narwa is a true test of your wire dashing skills. If you ain't good using wire buck, Narwa will make a man out of you in no time. I always like to compare it to a fight in Attack of Titan, as you have to master wire dashing in order to reach the floating platform to access the various weapons provided. It can be a little gimmicky from time to time, but when combined with your regular weapon play in between, undeniably, it's an extremely fun and memorable boss battle. Knowing when the platforms appear and when to use splitting wyvern shot and dragonator is the key to victory. Downing Narwa will result in her falling belly side up, exposing her most vulnerable ball sack. Oh, that sure looks painful. STRAX, or Crimson Glow STRAX to be precise, is a variant of the beloved flagship monster from Monster Hunter Double Cross, or Generation Ultimate in the West. It is a Gundam disguised as an Elder Dragon. Who are we kidding? It has glowing red wings, a chest that generates Minovsky-like particle, hyper beam attack, and a propel booster that breaks the barrier of sound. Okay. I mean, if that's not Gundam enough, I'm not sure what it is. Jokes aside, due to the rampant dragon energy, Crimson Glow STRAX is way more aggressive than its normal variant, and it would attack any living being in sight. It is an invasive monster like the infamous Pickle, but deadlier, as the only indicator you get is an ambush sign before descending with a deadly comet dive. If unaware, it will most likely result in fainting. The ringing sound after the explosion is a great touch and attention to detail too. When enraged fully, STRAX glows bright red. Excessive dragon energy bursts out from its wings and torso, resembling Trans Am from Double O. And sorry for yet another Gundam reference, but I'm a huge fan of the Mobile Suit series, and everything about STRAX reminds me of a Gundam. It looks like a Gaia Gundam, maybe a Gafran. Okay, enough of the Gundam talk. Same as the previous few monsters I talked about, STRAX has its own theme song too. It is orchestrated beautifully to convey a majestic yet dangerous vibe that an Elder Dragon gives. The pace of the music is faster compared to the original from GU, which expresses the urgency and intensity of the battle against it. Awesome soundtrack accompanied with great monster designs. STRAX is easily one of my favorite monsters of all time. Looking at the number of times I hunted it, not surprising. Bazelgeuse, the Netflix adaptation of STRAX. Both share many similarities, like being a party crasher, they can fly, turn red when angry, and will dive bomb on you, have their own theme song, and attack whatever that moves, etc. But the question is, why is Bazel not that well received compared to STRAX? The simple explanation is looks. Seriously, if we were to rate both of them on their looks, STRAX is like a solid 10, and Bazel is a 5 or maybe lower. If both monsters are actual human beings, and they complemented a female colleague at work, STRAX will be the guy that walks away with a date, but Bazel will get called by HR for sexual harassment. You get the point. So despite all of this, why is Bazel still on my list? It's all because of how interesting it is. I mean, it is a living bomber jet for God's sake. See how it dropped those bombs? The way it paraglides in the air? That's what a B-52 does. As mentioned earlier, Bazel is also an invasive monster where it takes pleasure from crashing people's parties. And oh boy, it sure knows how to make an entrance. The moment its theme starts playing, you know you're in trouble. I'm not sure is it just me, but I do feel Bazel could be more invasive though. I mean, compared to World, it kinda toned down a notch or two. But nevertheless, Bazel still puts up a good fight every time, and if you ever let it have its way, you're most likely gonna have a bad time. The Mother Queen of Ragnoids, Rakna-Kadaki, is a Temnoceran and made her debut in Rise. She is the only insect-like large monster in the game so far. Technically speaking, spiders are not insects, but arachnids though. Aside from being six-legged, Rakna-Kadaki's most unusual trait would be its extendable neck. It can retract back, making it difficult to be targeted. However, by KOing it, the neck would extend, leaving its head exposed to attack. Similar to wire dashing, Rakna-Kadaki could dash forward too by launching her Ragnoids, then pull herself in that direction. Interestingly, you could intercept the dash by cutting the web connecting them, which will tumble her to the ground. The battle against Rakna is an extremely fun experience. First, you have to try breaking the silk web on her legs. Once successfully remove 2 out of 4 legs, she will then collapse. Upon recovering, she will enter this incubating state, which sees her having a giant ball on her back. Be careful as she will use it to smash you into pieces. If dealt enough damage, the giant ball will break and she will go down again, and the cycle repeats until she dies. Come to think about it, the fight against Rakna-Kadaki kinda reminds me of Altaka, one of my favorite monsters in Double Cross, but on a smaller scale, like way smaller. So there you go, the 5 monsters I love the most in Rise. How about you? Who are your 5 favorite monsters in the game? Leave a comment below and let's discuss. If you like this video, do subscribe and hit the notification icon for more content like this. I am Aki from Aki Gaming, and until next time, happy hunting!